Now, there's also a stunning new revelation tonight about these missing text messages. Congressman Trey Gowdy is saying that there is a message between Strzok and Page about deleting these text conversations. You can't make this up for a novel. Look at this new information.
Lay aside this glaring 5-month gap in text that the world's premier law enforcement agency somehow missed. Lay that aside. What we have seen, what Johnny and I saw today, was a text about not keeping text. We saw more manifest bias against President Trump all the way through the election into the transition.
Hatred of Trump, bias against Trump, and not keeping the text messages. Well, that sounds like obstruction of justice. And by the way, it's not the first time, is it, that we've all seen this happen? Every single solitary time the Obama administration and their officials are backed into a corner and in serious legal trouble, all of a sudden, all the evidence just magically disappears. For example, this is their modus operandi. Hillary Clinton, 33,000 subpoenaed emails deleted. And just to make extra sure, acid washed, bleach bit the whole entire hard drive to make sure the evidence is completely destroyed. And just in case it made it to one of her Blackberries or mobile devices, well, she sends an 8 out with a hammer. Boom, let's smash that sucker. And the only phones they gave the FBI, they had no SIM cards. I'm sure just an accident, right? You believe that? I'll sell you a bridge to nowhere. Then there's also the IRS targeting conservatives. Remember that scandal? The emails from corrupt official Lois Lerner, they disappeared for 2 years. And the IRS claimed at the time they were lost because of a system crash. And we can't forget about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, her IT aide, and the reports of smashed hard drives in his garage. Now, predictably, the aide's lawyer denied it happened. Now, I know this is a lot to take in. Let me slow down here. But there's even more new information tonight we'll be giving to you throughout the hour. According to Congressman John Ratcliffe, Strzok and Page were also talking about, imagine this, a secret society meeting the day after President Trump won the election. Who's in the secret society? Let's see, could it be Page and Strzok and McCabe and Comey and, let's see, Bruce Orr? Could it be Rod Rosenstein? Who else is in the special secret society? Aren't they supposed to be transparent? Watch this.
We learned today about information that in the immediate aftermath of his election, that there may have been a secret society of folks within the Department of Justice and the FBI, to include Page and Strzok, that would be working against him. I'm not saying that actually happened, but when folks speak in those terms, they need to come forward to explain the context with which they use those terms.
As you just heard Congressman Ratcliffe say, there's no concrete evidence yet that the secret society ever met. But here's what we do know. Strzok and Page, and who we think is the deputy FBI director, Andrew McCabe, were meeting about, remember, the insurance policy, just in case Hillary lost the election. It's like dying if you're 40. And all of the other evidence in this scandal points to one simple, fundamental, basic fact. Top-ranking Obama administration officials in the Department of Justice, in the FBI, not rank and file, the top people, protected Hillary Clinton from prosecution. We know that happened. And then they used that phony Russian dossier that Hillary bought and paid for, full of Russian salacious lies, to go after the Trump campaign to try and influence the election. After all, it worked in stealing the primary from poor Bernie Sanders. And as we have now been saying for months, the fix was in the Clinton email investigation. Why? Because they wanted Hillary to run. They didn't want Trump to win. Now, here's why. Another text message from Peter Strzok and Lisa Page appears to show that they and Obama's Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, they all knew that Clinton wouldn't be prosecuted. By the way, before they ever interviewed Clinton or the other main participants in all of this. They didn't do the investigation. Remember, in May, James Comey and Peter Strzok and other top FBI officials, they were drafting the exoneration of Hillary months before they ever interviewed her and 17 other key witnesses. How can you actually exonerate somebody before ever talking to them? That's called the fix being in. That's being rigged. That is corruption 101. Let's take a look at James Comey denying under oath that he reached his legal conclusion before interviewing Hillary Clinton. Now, remember, we have all the different drafts, and his original drafts all pointed to a case of Hillary being guilty as hell. Watch this.
Director, did you make the decision not to recommend criminal charges relating to classified information before or after Hillary Clinton was interviewed by the FBI on July the 2nd?
After. But if colleagues of ours believe I am lying about when I made this decision, please urge them to contact me privately so we can have a conversation about this. All I can do is tell you again, the decision was made after that because I didn't know what was going to happen in that interview. She maybe lied during the interview in a way we could prove.
I'll call you. Can I have your number? I have a lot of questions for you. Sounds to me like Comey lied in that case under oath because we know we have the drafts, how he was exonerating Clinton months before her FBI interview. And tonight, just breaking, Politico is now reporting this hour that Congressman Ratcliffe is saying he wants to interview Comey again under oath about all these inconsistencies in his previous testimony.